Hello and welcome to Big Thoughts and Small Talk. We are having an Aussie takeover today, and and I am joined in the studio by, introduce yourself, boys.
Hi, I'm Samuel Nutton from Sydney, Australia. Not gonna lie, g'day.
G'day.
And my name's Alex Hall and I'm from New York.
Yeah, he's not Australian, he's just here for the ride, but you know...
Outside perspective.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, we all live in America as well, so we're a bit of a hodgepodge mix, but it's good. It's very good. And obviously Sam's from Sydney, while I am a Melbourne boy, so there's an instant rivalry.
Just gonna say that New South Wales is 1/3 of the population of Australia, while Victoria is a little over nothing.
Yeah, 1/3. Wait, no, excuse me.
Yeah.
Melbourne has is the most livable city voted, I think 5 or 6 times in a row now.
But like 2 million people who live in Sydney over Melbourne disagree. So,
and that's more congestion. That's worse traffic.
True. Yeah, it's fair,
Exactly. But, you know, Australia, how long has it been since you've been back?
So I haven't been back in almost 3 years now, which I feel a little bad about. Very far away, as I'm sure everyone knows.
It's a trek to get there. I mean,
big trek.
I think the last time I went there was 2016.
Me the same, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, I was 18. I just turned 18, so I was like, I'm hitting the clubs, and you know, Melbourne Central. It was a good time. Shout out to my friend Rachel and Alex Bear, who we had a great night. We were just going. It was like a Monday night. We were trying to find if any club was open. Obviously, it wasn't. We were up till like 3-4 a.m. just trekking around Melbourne, seeing these really shifty characters around the streets.
You know, I've never been clubbing in Sydney, but I've got to say, from all my friends and what I've heard, one thing that, especially compared to America and like England in some degree, the amount of local heroes you get at like your local clubs.
That's true.
Because like all the NRL like rugby players always go to my local club in Balmain, Sydney.
Yes.
And like the AFL players, they always hit the night out. Everyone has a good time, even though it's celebrities. They have a good time.
That's true. Is there any like sort of well, I mean, not like NRL or AFL players, but like local, like the town locals? In my sort of where I live in Melbourne, I live around this place called Box Hill, and there's this fella called Box Hill Bill.
Box Hill Bill.
Box Hill Bill.
Hillbilly Box Hill Billy.
Dude, pretty much. He is well not world famous, but like he's famous.
Box Hill famous.
Box Hill famous to all the high schoolers who mess with him on the train going to and from the city.
Oh yeah, we had a couple of those.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh man, it was great. You know, going to the AFL, and like, you know, it's 1 o'clock at night when it finishes, and you're taking the train back, and just everyone is drunk as hell. Just like, the fights on the train were great. Oh man.
Talking about drunken hell, Australia has the best way to get drunk. Let's give a shout out to a goon sack.
The goon sack.
The goon sack. Yes.
Need some explanation?
You need an explanation?
Okay, please explain.
So a box of wine generally will have a foil bag inside filled with the most quality wine you have ever tasted in your life.
Totally haven't just gone to Coles and...
the best $8 wine ever existed. And what we was about to do, or even my young age of like 14, 15 going back there, what everyone used to be about... I didn't do it. I used to see it.
Totally never used to do it.
Just saw it. I was in the peanut gallery. You get 2 people on a team, right? So you have one person who's chugging the goon sack.
Yes.
And the other person who's squeezing the goon sack. And whoever wins first wins. But it's just, I don't know, you know, Cooler Bar Tree?
Yeah,
that's a classic goon sack brand. It's just... simultaneously the worst and best way to get drunk, and I gotta give it a shout out.
It's true. It honestly is true. I'm trying to think. Going to Australian high school was an interesting time.
First, I think we should explain the few differences.
Yes.
Yeah. We don't have any college art. We have,
No,
we have
it's
primary school, which is K to 6, and
Yep.
then high school, which
Yep.
is 7 to 12, and that's
it.
nothing more complicated.
Exactly.
I don't know why-
It's very it's similar to the US structure, except
Yeah, but
we
no
don't
middle
have
school.
4 years. There's no middle school. It's all sort of intermixed. So you have a weird, like you have like
Yo.
hormone rushes with the sort of younger years,
Yeah.
and then you have the really wild like
The-
older
Yeah,
years.
but
The
you know
year
your friends
7
for like longer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And like a lot of schools will be K to 12.
Yes.
A lot of schools will be K through 12.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those. My school back in Australia, Kunung Secondary College.
Kunung Secondary.
Kunung Secondary College.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's a good name,
Sounds
actually.
it was great. It was great.
Intimidating.
Famous for two things. We're famous because, unfortunately, one of the she was a student, got stabbed outside. It was a
way.
It was a mafia hit.
Mafia.
Yeah, it was like her
Where's
dad.
the
Her dad
mafia
was
in
like
Melbourne?
the mafia's everywhere in Melbourne. Her dad was like like he was a lawyer. Or he was like part of like one of the like Italian mafias, and like they targeted his daughter, like stabbed
That's
her.
wild.
I'm not sure if she went to Kunung or if she was just on the like path outside,
Just on
but
the
like
block.
we're famous. Like that's one of the claims to fame. The other claim to fame is I think it was 2012 or 2011 or 2012. The seniors, the year 12s. Filled water guns with bleach and water, and they went on the oval, and they
They
drew.
bleached the...
They drew
yeah.
what is described.
Classic.
I'm not sure if I can say the P word on air, but a phallus on the field.
A phallic drawing.
A phallic drawing going into a rendition of a mouth. It was actually so famous it made a Chinese newspaper.
No way.
Yeah,
Wow,
that was like the
that's
satellite.
great.
The satellite. If you go back and like go back to the satellite images of that time, you can see the giant phallus. I'll have to show it to you guys
So
in the break.
absurd.
That was on prank day, right?
That was on Muck Up Day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Muck Up Day,
it's
right,
good.
right. But that got banned
That-
from a lot of private schools in Sydney.
Yeah.
After, like they used to. There's a bunch of classic ones, obviously.
Yes.
But I think someone like put they made, I don't know what they put in them, but they made water balloons that just stunk terrible.
Oh,
And
man.
some kind of stink bomb liquids, and went a little too far. And I only know this is just like specifically why my school
Yeah.
didn't have Muck Up Day. Bombed some teachers. My school was pretty tall as well, so you could get them throw them off the roof.
You could get a good. You could get
there
a
was
good.
a lot of people
oh,
down
man.
there during like lunch and stuff. The courtyards would be filled, and there were people on the roof, and they would just. I wasn't even there at the school at the time. This was like before I came.
Yeah.
But everyone, like, I've heard stories, and that grade, like that group of kids got in
really.
so, like, they had their grades and HSC grades and like college applications all like got in trouble because of that. So
Let's ask
be
the
careful.
American RSU. Is there like? I mean, we went to American high schools as well, but there wasn't really an equivalent of like.
No, I mean, yeah, they have. Obviously, you have like little childish pranks they pull. But I heard about a group of guys
You did them.
in the city who, since all the buildings are kind of taller,
Yeah.
they almost like rented cows for a day. And they brought a bunch of
Oh.
cows into the building, and like apparently cows only go up, and it's difficult for them to go down. So they just brought a bunch of cows to the roof.
Cows
yeah.
only go up. It's like a weird urban
Yeah,
myth.
and they just brought a bunch of cows to the roof, and then that was like their prank. But we had like water cups all over the floor.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Nothing like that detrimental, really. But yeah, like some stink bombs, like things in people's lockers, just really childish stuff, really.
There was another case in America. I don't know where it was in America, but they released 5 pigs into the
Yes.
school, but they numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I heard
So
about that.
they found them all, but
Yeah,
they
everyone
couldn't-
was looking for
everyone
number
was looking for 5. Everyone was looking
Yeah,
for
that's
5.
Oh,
Never found
man.
him.
That's pretty great. And on that note, we're gonna have to go to our next song. Tame Impala, Elephant. Great Australian. What is he? Experimental.
I would say like alternate
Alternate
rock, yeah.
Alternate rock.
I'm excited.
Gotta love it.
Banger.
You are listening to Insanity Radio 103.2 FM. This is Big Thoughts and Small Talk. And welcome back to Insanity Radio 103.2. This is Big Thoughts and Small Talk, and that was from the music by the Potbellies. Now, we're having a bit of a quiz. Now we have
Yes.
2 Australians and 1 American in the studio. We're gonna get a little bit spicy.
Put me on
So
the spot.
I'm gonna put you on the spot right here and right now.
I'll answer after him just to see if I'm right.
Just to see if you're
I've been
right,
waiting for
okay.
a while. Maybe you're wrong.
All right, fair enough. All right, so what is first of all, what is a digger?
A digger. Ooh. Is that like a tractor thing type?
Well, I mean, it is.
Excavating truck? I don't know.
Okay, so a digger is like an Australian soldier, like so
okay.
that's famous.
Oh, yeah,
We're-
you're right.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we're famous for digging the trenches for the British because
Oh,
you know
okay.
we're more strong and agile than they ever could be.
It makes sense.
Labourers.
It makes sense.
You're welcome, Britain.
I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna say gold digger there. So I'm happy you said the answer.
It has a bit of a double entendre. Okay, so Egon, what does Egon mean?
Oh my. To like edge someone on?
Oh,
Instigate them? I don't know.
It's okay. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
That's fair.
All right. Trying to think. What's a drongo?
A drongo. Sounds like a drum, but I don't know. Someone that's drunk.
No. Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, it's an idiot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A drongo is an idiot.
I'll
All
have a quick one real quick.
right, go ahead.
I don't know if you get this.
It's
but
probably not.
What's swag?
Swag? I'm guessing it's not the
No,
stereotypical.
No, not being cool.
No, it's got something.
Swag.
Something
A
to do
swag.
With
It isn't-
Matilda.
There you go.
Someone.
You're
Not a nice
wrong.
name for someone. I don't know.
No, it's like like how hobos or homeless people have like a stick with like a little. That's your swag. That's
But
your
Exactly.
that's not very realistic. You know, the hobos don't actually have
That dude
They
has
used
swag.
to-
at least
yeah.
where I'm
They used
from.
to, because especially because Australia,
like
you think about,
hitchhikers.
but you think about like Australia hobos compared to like American, where it's like
Yeah,
more city, right? Ours would be like
Much better. They just steal
walking
sheep.
walking the outback.
I mean, that's a whole song. I mean,
Gotta bring your little stove with you.
I mean, talking about waltzing Matilda, I think a lot of
It's a
people.
great song.
It is a great song. A lot of people wanted it to be the national anthem, but the
Yeah,
whole song
yeah.
is literally about this homeless guy stealing a sheep, and then when the police come, is like, no, you can't catch me, and jumps into the river and kills himself.
Yeah.
Honestly, that should be the national anthem because
That
it
is
sums up the
outrageous.
Australian character perfectly.
Have you ever heard Johnny Cash's rendition of it?
I have not.
Johnny Cash did a rendition of Waltzing Matilda. He explains all the words, which is annoying for me as an Australian because I know what it means. But
Exactly.
for
Thank you,
everyone
Johnny.
else, it's helpful.
You Americans.
Any more terms?
All right, durry.
Oh,
Durry?
I
What's
love
a
this
durry?
one. Love it.
A,
I actually say this as well.
no idea.
No idea.
A durry. Supermarket.
No. Cigarette.
guess.
It's a
A cigarette?
cigarette.
Yeah, a cigarette.
Yeah,
A
you
dart.
asked. You,
A dart.
Is there a
dart
reason?
also-
A dart,
also
A
usable.
dart? I like dart.
I've got one
Dart's
real quick
good.
as well.
All right.
What's a deck?
A deck. I'm guessing it's not like an act like your
It's
regular
related to
deck.
your one you just answered.
I don't know, like a rolling paper or something.
Pack of cigarettes.
A pack of
Deck
cigarettes.
cigarettes.
Okay.
Decadaries?
A deck, yeah,
A
makes
deck of
sense.
durries?
You get a deck of durries at the
So you can
servo.
pitch a dart.
Exactly. Oh, you got any durries, mate? Come on.
What's a Siggy Butt Brain?
Siggy Butt Brain, yeah.
Siggy Butt Brain.
Hello?
What? Come on. Can you really not
You can
answer
do
what
that.
a Siggy Butt Brain is?
Like someone who's stupid?
Yeah,
Or-
oh,
There you go.
Okay,
There
yeah,
you go.
but-
You got it. You got it.
Why?
I mean,
What's the reason for using Siggy Butt Brain?
Because they've
Like-
got, instead of a brain, they just have a cigarette butt.
exactly.
okay.
Siggy
Exactly.
Butt.
Siggy butt brain. I'm trying to think. All right. So what is like? All right. So what's as an American, a pure American, because we're corrupted. We have outside blood. What's like the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Australia?
Australia.
Yeah, come on.
There's definitely got to be like.
It's not kangaroos or
Yeah,
like the
I was gonna
animals.
say like kangaroos,
Crocodile
dangerous
Dundee.
animals,
Dangerous animals.
very good surfing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I love a good surf.
I'd say the number one thing which like I can't avoid in Britain and Australia, everyone's like
America,
crooks. You're a bunch of crooks.
See, I've never heard that
Convicts,
before.
yeah, we
coming
hate
from,
convicts. Well, do you
New
know the
York.
history?
No, I don't know the history.
We
bro.
were a
founded
penal colony.
It was England dumping all their like convicts.
They were just like,
Like, so you have to
go
hold them
live
on
in
the
the middle
Thames.
of this
Pretty
giant
much.
island that we found, this desert.
That's funny.
And
The first fleet,
the first fleet, there you go.
second fleet.
Second fleet.
Eventually, soldiers started coming, but it took a while.
It took a while. It was just a bunch of roughhousing
Yeah.
for the most part. And the thing is, like, it was awful, and everyone hated it. And the way they coped with it was by drinking, and that's
so much.
That's how the Australian accent developed, is years of getting absolutely wasted drunk
Yeah.
and just
For a good-
slurring your words.
For a good period of time, Australia was literally run by soldiers.
Yeah.
Who, the only reason they were in control was because they used to boat out to the arriving fleets, load up all the rum, and then
Yep.
go back. And because they controlled the rum, they controlled everything. And
Exactly.
it was literally, that was our government.
Oh man, it's so great. It's so great, and I'm trying to think. Australia is like Victoria. It has two of the most notorious criminals. So we have Ned Kelly.
Yeah.
If
I love Ned Kelly.
For the listeners who don't know, Ned Kelly was an Irishman who lived in Australia who basically told the
Had a gang.
had the Kelly gang.
Mostly his family.
But yeah, they were all his family, and basically he built like a makeshift arbor, and went up against like hordes of police and just like shot them all, and like he ended up dying.
No,
in there.
yeah,
he
he
got hung. He got
He was
captured and
actually
hung.
gangster.
He was actually like, it was a bit stupid because I know he'd been like almost caught like 5 times before and escaped.
Yeah.
But he just had his armor made, so he was like, oh, like, I can fight them all.
Exactly.
But it didn't cover his legs.
It didn't cover. He never
So-
thought of making like shin guards
he
or
just got
anything.
shot in the legs like 8 times, and he was like, wow, you're gonna capture me then.
It's funny when you go to the old Melbourne jail. They have the armor, and like he thought of protecting his crotch. Like he thought of that. It was like
it's like an apron. It's like
Exactly.
an apron and like a helmet.
and
like
a helmet,
box.
or a box helmet. And the other notorious criminal who stayed in Pentridge prison was Chopper Reed.
Oh yeah, okay. I've got another one, another famous Australian criminal to add afterwards.
Go.
Shall I go?
Yeah,
Good old Ivan Milat.
Ivan
Milat is Australia's, he was one of the probably most famous serial killers, and he was
100%.
just a serial killer. He used to, for all you non-Australians out there, he targeted backpackers, so
Yes.
be warned.
You
Wow.
Brits would
Why is
rock
that?
up, just drive
lots
through.
Lots of Scandinavians, lots of Brits.
Oh yeah.
Lots of them. He used to like just live on a really like hard road or something. Somewhere, like,
I think
really
it was.
difficult to
I
get
think
around.
it was.
Maybe near Ayers Rock.
It was the Stuart
Somewhere
Highway.
deep.
Okay, so basically in the middle of Australia, there's one road which basically goes north to south. It's the Stuart Highway. I've done that trip. It's awful. It's
There's like nothing to stop
It's
on. There's,
16
like, especially
hours.
in the 70s when he was.
Exactly. It's like 16 hours of straight nothing. Just desert. Sometimes the occasional kangaroo and emu. Occasionally, but it is desolate.
Sounds.
So this guy would basically just like he'd like blink the lights and like say,
Yeah.
you got a flat tire, let me check, and then
Damn.
Back when Australia had guns.
back when Australia had guns.
But yeah, he used to. I feel like they found what it was like. I think they found like one couple buried, and then
Yeah.
they put him in jail.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
like 3
So
or 4
many
years later, they
more.
dug up his like whole.
He had like
His
huge
entire, and there was
body
like
count.
there was like 18. It was so much higher than anyone
If
thought.
you've ever seen the movie Wolf Creek, that's
Oh,
based
yeah,
on
yeah.
Ivan Milat. That is, oh man, that's a scary film. Not because like it's just like jump scare, just like psychologically, like oh man, a lot of that stuff was based on real true events. And then I saw that film when I was a kid, and then we did the Stuart Highway trip, and I was like, I'm gonna die. But Chopper Reed, all right. So Chopper Reed was basically he was the Robin Hood of criminals. He would basically target like drug dealers and any sort of person he thought of as the scum of society, and how he
Dexter
got
vibes.
exactly. I mean, I appreciate his sort of heart of gold. He wouldn't like really abuse anyone who didn't deserve it. And he'd target all these like really like bad characters, go to their house like, oh, how you doing, mate? Can you let me in? And then just like mess up their stuff, take their money and go. And like since they were all criminals, it's not like they could report it because then they'd be found out as well. So he was like definitely got quite the reputation in Melbourne's criminal underworld.
Vigilante.
Bit of a vigilante, bit of a wise guy. Unfortunately, I mean, depending on who you ask, I mean, I say unfortunately he died because he was a funny guy. He had his own like stand-up sort of like talking tour. He like made it famous. He wrote a book. There was actually a couple movies made about him. Actually, I think.
I think
I'm
we
guessing
should.
after he went to jail for a long time, or no?
Yeah, he went to jail, got the movie, and then he went back to jail. I think.
I think we should petition Marvel to add him as the
newest superhero.
The newest superhero to the Marvel. Chopper Reed.
Avengers 4 is going to be great with Chopper Reed.
Chopper Reed versus all the
don't worry about your shield, Cap. I got this.
I want to hear the banter between him and Captain Boomerang.
Oh, mate, that's great. Oh man, I mean, it's thinking about Australian, like, I think one of Australia's most popular TV shows, Underbelly.
Yeah,
it's
Underbelly.
all about Australian crime.
Yeah, especially as far as it goes to like critically acclaimed TV shows, because I feel like we make some funny ones that are terrible.
Yeah, I mean, oh man, Underbelly.
That was
good.
It
was so good.
It's a classic or a new show?
In Australia, so they had like. So every season was like a new kind of crime lord.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So it was like really like it changes a lot. I think they finished it now. I don't think they
No, they just finished a series on Chopper Reed actually.
Did they actually?
Yeah. It was a 2-parter. It was quite good.
That's cool.
Definitely recommend it for anyone interested in looking about how messed up Australian life is.
Yeah, it's actually something I did not know that it was criminal like that.
Oh,
it's
dude,
wild criminal.
Oh man, like the 80s and 90s were like a wild time if you were hanging out in the wrong parts of Australia.
We have some weird history, especially since like in the 70s there was very controversial white Australia policy.
Yes,
where
that's true.
It's actually pretty crazy because if you think about like the modern definition of white, it's like European, Western.
Yeah.
But Greeks, Italians not let in.
No,
like, you had
that's
to be,
true. Like Anglo-Saxon, Irish,
it was like UK or no one.
Dude,
and that
true.
just like that just like because there was already obviously people in there who were not white. It just. I feel like a lot of that was when we had a bit of tension.
There was a bit of tension. The Italian, I mean,
the convict part was still
exactly. And in Melbourne as well, the Italians set up shop.
But does Australia have like an indigenous people?
Yeah, we got the Aborigines,
and they were they've been awkward for like a white Australia policy, considering that they're the actual Australians.
That's true. It's true.
They're not going to kick them out.
Oh man, but I mean, it's just funny knowing that our entire reputation is just you're a penal colony, you're just full of crime. And then when you think about it, you can't exactly deny it, which
I have to admit, I do get the animals stuff a lot though, like, oh, do you like eat spiders and stuff like that. And my favorite story to tell about that has to be the Australian emus versus the Australian army.
And the emus won.
Yeah, the emus won. The emus, they were trying to get cleared out of some area to make some like farming ground.
Yeah, something like that.
Like,
they ran out.
The farmers couldn't do it.
They hired.
Call in the army.
Call in the army. It was 2 blokes on a truck with a machine gun. They ran out of ammo and couldn't kill all the emus. So it's a decisive emu victory.
Not even just that. It wasn't even just that. They actually got stuck there because the emu was so nimble. They took them over really bumpy terrain. And these army blokes are like, I can chase them anywhere. These are some stupid birds. And then bang, tires smash out. Emus just run up into the distance into the sunset.
It's like, we'll get you next time. So
they say they still don't have that area to this very day. So it's a complete victory.
They're bragging. They're bragging. I think we need to teach the emus a lesson. Just nuke that entire region.
Exactly.
And on that note, we have to go to our next song, which is The Holy Grail by Hunters and Collectors. It's a true blue AFL sort of tune. It's played after pretty much, every match they play this at some point. So you're listening to Insanity Radio 103.2 FM. And that was Gautier with Somebody That I Used to Know. It's a song of heartbreak.
Definitely.
I mean, I remember listening to it after one of my bad breakups and just feeling the pain,
Really, as you get it out there, and like when you like the woman like starts talking back, you're just like, it's like a literal conversation.
No idea it was Australian, but
it's probably the biggest Australian song.
I think so. In recent years, definitely. Big. So Sam, you have a shout out to make.
Yeah, I want to make a quick shout out to George here and Arda for letting me be here today. And then I want to talk about something else, and that is my most. What I think is the scariest Australian animal of all. Now I have two contenders, and I'll let it
Go
each
ahead.
weigh in. The first is a cassowary. I don't know if you know what a cassowary is,
No
but
idea.
it's a bird. Not that too
scared-
Not
scared of
too
a bird?
unlike an emu.
No,
Scared
no,
of a
no.
bird?
A little small emu, but nothing is more aggressive. It just hates humans. It just really
does.
hates them. It just doesn't like them.
And they look terrifying.
Terrifying, and they charge straight at you, and they'll see you and just charge.
They have like a big like horn
it's
thing.
like a plate. It's like a.
It is literally a plate.
It's like a bone plate in
and
the
they
head.
they headbutt people. They just
ram
boom.
them, and they get their claws involved on your shins.
I think they also have like a poison like sting on one of their claws
Yeah,
as well.
they're
so-
wild.
Definitely gonna have
Why
to
is
research.
everything in Australia poison?
Yeah,
That's a good question.
I don't understand. Like, if someone literally like when God was making with animals, he just like tipped in so much venom and poison. It was just
Exactly.
like-
This land is cursed. Surely no one will settle here. And then it's like, yeah, let's do it.
banter.
Banter.
Well, see, everyone had to get drunk enough. So
Exactly.
They could be like, oh, you know what? Maybe this is a good idea.
Barry, go swim with the crocodiles. It will be funny.
So yeah, and then my second shout is a stonefish or a lionfish. They're very similar.
Oh yeah.
They're like a fish that will stay still in shallow water, and if you step on them, they're incredibly venomous and just. And there's a story of it was actually in the paper, my local paper back in Oz, and so this guy, so he lost two limbs. No, he lost
What?
He lost two limb. He lost one limb in a shark attack. Sorry, he lost like an arm in a shark attack, and then stepped on a stonefish and lost his leg from the knee down.
I feel like after the shark attack, you're just like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't
out
go.
of the water.
Maybe I
Just
shouldn't
don't
go in the
water.
ocean.
It's true. But and he said that he would rather lose every single limb from a shark attack than lose one from a stonefish.
It must be
was
so
that
painful.
Like they used to amputate it not because of like the venom, but because like you couldn't like settle anyone down if they just had to get rid of it. It's wild.
I mean, that's the thing about Australia is like it's the things that you can't see which you should be more terrified of.
I've got to give a quick little pointer for the tourists. These animals aren't like in the heart of Sydney or Melbourne.
No, you're not going to see
You're
them.
not going to just like run into them on the block, you know?
Exactly.
They're far away.
You have to
they're
go
not really on a
searching for
path.
them.
Yeah,
You really have to
gotta
go searching for them
You
if
go
you want them.
searching for them. They're not like you don't just have kangaroos instead of cars.
What's like? I mean, I think the scariest encounter that I heard about was my brother. We lived in Alice Springs, and for the listeners, Alice Springs is in the middle, smack bang in the middle of the Red Center.
It's so hot.
It is a hellhole. It is just, it's something else.
I just remember real quick. Every time I saw like a whole picture of the weather over the whole of Australia, I'd always be like, oh, you know, it's hot here, but thank God I'm not in Alice Springs because I would have been dead.
It was 50 degrees Celsius most days.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, I got a great tan. I'm not gonna lie, but it was unbearable. And one of my brothers, was it Alex or Nick? I think it was Alex. Basically, a king brown snake.
King Brown
Snake got into
dangerous.
the supply closet of his classroom.
Oh,
Wow.
And like the teacher opened the closet, the first just at the start of the day, just sees a snake, closes it. All right, kids, get out, go on. calls the foreman, calls the janitor, and
pulls up with a shovel.
gets the shovel. He gets it. Every
Of course.
Australian
What else would you
school
get for
has.
shovel?
Literally, like that is Australia's national snake killing tool.
Exactly.
It's a shovel. You shovel its neck off and cut it, and that's how you kill a snake.
No,
Bill,
from the city I
Get
come
the
down,
shovel.
All you need is a shovel, and you're pretty much safe in Australia.
It's
so
true.
Make sure you bring one for all your tourists. Pack it in that bag.
Exactly, a nice
Find some
cool-
space for it.
Oh
Pitchfork,
man.
baby.
I'm trying to. I haven't had any other like really weird
I used
interactions.
to have I had a huntsman spider.
Huntsmans are the worst.
I-
I don't mind them because they're big and you can see them, but
They
they're
can't bite you.
They can't bite you, but they're intimidating.
Yes. Well, when I was very young, actually, I had one as a pet.
Oh,
and
mate.
it wasn't just like I got one from the pet store. It was
You
came
found
into
it.
It just came into my house in the winter, and I was like, "Oh, his name is Boris." You know,
Boris,
love Boris.
Boris the Huntsman
Boris
Spider.
Boris the Hunter.
I love it. I love it.
And I actually he came back every every winter for like 2 years.
He came back every.
Yeah, and I knew it was him because the first time I tried to get him out, I cut like a part of his leg off with a Tupperware container. I was like trying to catch him in it. So I guess he just couldn't. He could go in my garden. You made
a real connection with Boris.
I don't think he likes you though. He
I mean,
took
I'm
his
not gonna
leg.
lie, it was fine. Like I didn't mind it. Like I wasn't that scared.
Yeah, I mean,
waking up with your head against the wall and him to be right above you.
Yeah,
that gave me a little bit of a spook. I'm not gonna lie.
That happened to me one too many times.
Yeah,
just like
right above you.
You go to bed, you lie down. Before you turn out the lights, you see a huntsman right on the ceiling. I'd be like, you know what? I'll sleep on the couch downstairs tonight. You can have the room.
Why are all the small things trying to kill you in Australia?
The small things are the worst.
Yeah, the ants. There's like paralyzing ants in the outback.
Yeah,
what?
Never fall asleep under a tree.
There's
in the outback.
there's also honey ants, which is like, it's weird. Like you can like
Weird.
eat them and it's like fine. I don't know. Australia's just it's a weird place.
But like you really, they're not everywhere. Like most things, like the worst thing you're gonna find in the city is gonna be like the occasional redback.
Yeah.
Blue bottles on the beaches. Don't know what blue bottles are. They're really weird. I don't understand.
Jellyfishy
Small
type.
jellyfish. They live in the sand and just sting you.
Yeah,
They don't
they're
really
not
have
that
a brain
bad.
or anything. They're like, whatever. Yeah, like redback spiders, daddy longlegs.
The occasional like blue tongue lizard.
Oh, magpies.
Oh,
magpies. That's a good story.
The magpies are. I mean, obviously,
Swoop them.
I have to give a shout out to my home team.
Swan.
Good old Collingwood forever. We lost the premiership, and I'm still salty about that because we deserved it. We played much better than the Eagles, but admittedly, the Eagles, they played well.
Every team from Victoria is terrible.
I'm inclined to agree, except
Every
for
team
Collingwood.
from rest of Australia and Western Sydney, everywhere apart
Except
from just
for
the Sydney
except for
Swans.
Gold Coast Suns.
No
one likes Gold Coast Suns.
I don't know why they're a team.
They're the weird, little.
The Gold Coast Titans in NRL don't get much love either. I don't know why the Gold Coast needs so many teams. No one cares.
Oh man, but magpies they don't care. Like they're not like the magpies that you have in Britain. No. They will actively seek you out and
ride a bike,
mess your stuff.
People put zip ties on their bike helmet to keep magpies away.
Exactly.
I definitely can't relate to these exotic creatures in New York. Like pigeons and squirrels.
Pigeons and squirrels.
Rats, cockroaches, stuff like that.
Yeah, I've seen big rats in New York.
Nothing that's like trying to kill you.
Ticks are the worst in America. They're really. I mean, I've had
New York is not that bad.
I some bad ticks in Australia as well.
Do we?
Yeah.
Huh.
But they're just. I feel like everyone in Australia knows how to deal with a tick.
That's
like,
true.
You get toothpaste, alcohol, tweezers, you're done.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone in Australia is just like, I'm gonna get Lyme disease and die.
I mean, I got Lyme disease once, and I did, and I actually think because I got bit by a tick before I came here, I actually think I might have it again.
Oh,
so I've got my doctor's appointment booked for next week. Hopefully I don't have it. Hopefully I'm just being a bit of a hypochondriac. But Lyme disease is not a fun time.
No, yeah.
Watch out because you might.
It's not contagious. Girls, if you're listening, it's not contagious. Oh man! And on that note, we have to sort of wrap up, which is a shame because I could talk to you boys honestly
forever.
It's great. I'll have to have you on at some point. Maybe I'll do another.
Can't wait.
Yeah. I'll do another America special where we'll play some country music sort of hits, or maybe a rap special.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
That'd be dope. All right, this has been Big Thoughts and Small Talk. I've been your host, Ilija Dokmanovic. Boys, if you want to say farewell.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for having me on
thanks
here.
for having us.
It's been great.
It's been great.
Insanity Radio for the win.
Insanity Radio 103.2 FM. This has been Big Thoughts and Small Talk. Thank you so much for listening. And to take us out is the Australian legend, John. Oi, Aussie, Aussie! Oi! The Australian legend himself, John Farnham with You're the Voice.